For those of you joining us, we are started.
Hello, I'm so sorry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll, I'll get her. Or you want to grab her? Or maybe faster. I'm so sorry about that. How are you? Good, good.
Okay, great. We are so.
Great. Hi, everyone.
FYI.
Wonderful.
But the
Thank you for that.
great thing about these matrimonies is that they are meant like a rapid fire. And
Awesome.
not take long. You just want to pour in people quickly. You can get
Yay.
lives.
Great.
I don't feedback. Can
Yeah,
you?
I'm hearing like kind of every other word that you're saying. And I'm not sure either which side it's on. Your makeup looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
My goodness.
Go to look.
If that's your go to, I need a tutorial.
I don't know if you're doing regular lashes. So these are game changer.
Nice. Very nice. Josh, we're hearing a little bit of feedback. She's trying to figure out if it's on her end or my end.
I don't think I have this. Let me see. That's the camera.
And then
I'll put echo cancellation on right there. Maybe that's helpful.
Is that better?
yes, it is. That is better.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Sorry. So
Josh has got camera situation. Sit down so we can start with her. He is like the most technical person. I feel like I'm 50 sometimes when he's like, he knows all the new tech.
all right.
Okay.
Are we both in? Can you
Yeah.
see both of us?
I can see you both. Y'all can see me? Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Morgan, is that one?
Welcome. Okay, so I understand that you guys are busy. It is the middle of the day, and the whole entire purpose of our midweek matrimony is almost like a rapid fire question session so that you can pour into couples, they can receive it while they're on lunch, and then everybody can get back to their lives and continue on, and they leave not only fed from their meals, but now they are fed from all the information that we have given them, and everybody is better for it. Okay?
Love it.
Okay.
I love it.
So I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to let you guys give your introduction of exactly who you are and what you do, and we're going to dive right in. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. My name is Jennifer Allen. I'm the owner of Just Elope. We're an elopement and pop-up wedding planning company based here in Dallas. The beauty of our business is that we will marry couples anywhere. We've done professional basketball games, Whataburger, rooftops, you name it. If you say, I want to get married on my college campus, we are going to make it happen. And so it has been a journey, and through that, it has evolved to me really wanting to dive into not only be a part of our couple's wedding day, but be a part of their marriages. And so helping them not only plan a wedding, but plan for their marriage, which led me to premarital coaching, which has led us here today to Midweek Matrimony, because I love to hear from other couples on how they are thriving in their own marriage and what they could have possibly done differently to get to this point, if anything. So I'm going to let you introduce yourselves.
That's awesome. I'm Karis. I'm wife, Josh's wife. I am 29. We've been married for 6 or 7 years. 6 years. We have 3 children, 5, 2, and 5 months. The 2-year-old will be 3 soon. We own our own business, which he started in college in 2010. And then when he graduated, I'm telling your story. Go ahead.
You got it. No.
Okay.
You're
doing great. I'll finish. I was going to say we started on business when he was in 2010, and then when he graduated in 2012, he went to work for NASA, which was awesome, and I kind of helped him to keep the business running. And then when I was finished with school in 2014, I worked for somewhere for 6 months and then went full-time with him. And so I've been full-time since 2014. He quit his job and went full-time in 2016, and then we've been full-time together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything I missed?
That was pretty good. Yeah. So husband and wife team that own a multimedia production company, specialize in weddings, also help businesses or consult businesses on their video strategy, as well as have a marketing agency where we manage social media accounts and help with websites, lead generation, things of that nature. So, yeah.
You definitely sound like me figuring out your kids' ages, because I'm like, how old is everybody? My husband and I have been married for 10 years. And we have a 8-year-old, a 6, about to be 7, and I am 30 weeks pregnant.
Oh my God, it's time.
Yeah, so all boys. This is our 3rd boy that I'm having. I saw your post about how you thought you wanted all boys and you would miss out on all the glitter if you hadn't. I'm gonna miss out on all the glitter because this is it.
Well done. That's it. Okay.
We are done. I'm 34. So I feel like pregnancy has been just a whole lot different from my 20s to now.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like a granny. Having a baby. Wow. So because it is definitely interesting. So I definitely applaud you all for running your business, having small children. It is no easy task. I know that. So let's tell everybody, although I know your story because I have followed you all for some time, love everything that you do. How did you meet?
I'll let you tell it.
The first time I saw Karis was
the first time he saw me.
Well, that's when we met, or when I met you. Yeah, it was at on campus at Baylor University, and there was this organization called Impact, and it was a Bible study, student led, and that is the first time I saw her a part of that organization on Baylor's campus. And after that, it was a wrap.
What was when you saw her? Like, what did you think?
What did I think? I thought she was beautiful. So first of all, when I saw her, what I saw, I liked. I liked what I saw. And then second of all was the way that she carried herself, right? So she looked good, but then also she carried herself like a queen. So I saw that. I just radiated towards that and, had to get to know her.
Miss Karis, what did you think?
I was not paying attention to him, honestly. So really, before I even got to Baylor, my friends were showing me him on Facebook with the girl he was with at the time, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, aren't they the cutest couple ever? Like, they're like so cute. Everybody knows it." So before I even got to Baylor, I had seen him, knew he was in a relationship, like was just kind of, wanting to be friends because we were in the same friend groups. And so, for me, because he was in a relationship, I wasn't even thinking about him in that way. I was friends, in our kind of mutual group. And so really what had happened was, he's not telling the full story. What happened was his roommate and I had this deal that whenever his roommate wanted like a home cooked meal, he would buy the food and I would cook it. And we had been doing this for like a while because we were just really good friends, and Josh was never there. After he had gotten out of his relationship, he was, doing his single college thing. And so he was never there while me and his roommate had this deal. And one time he was there and ate the food. His roommate said he was going to go pick up a girl, but his roommate never came back. His roommate was also my ride home. And so that night, Josh and I just talked the whole night. And then at the end of the night, he kissed me. And from then it was a wrap. After that point,
that's when she knew it was a wrap.
Okay, whatever.
So what do you think that it is about your love that is unique? Everybody has a love story. Y'all have photographed tons of love stories, big published weddings. What is it that you feel is unique about your love?
Yeah, man. What I think is unique about our love is I think we are so compatible and so different, right? So but not only that, I think what's unique about our love is how much we really, really like intentionally try to keep Christ in the center of it, just in the sense of that's where we always go back to, right? So because we have that, I think that gives us a lot of it gives us an advantage, right, for each other, just to be able to work together as a team, to be able to communicate. But not only that, we also share a lot of the same values when it comes to family, when it comes down to what we think marriage should look like. So that's half the battle right there, finding somebody who's on that same wavelength and is willing to operate on the same page and using the same system. That's huge. And so I think that really differentiates us and gives us an advantage when it comes to doing life together.
Yeah, I would say too, just on the other side of that, we are always together. Very rarely are we not together. And that's because we work together. And so I think that really what makes it unique, in addition to that, is, a lot of times couples will go to work and then they'll come home. So they'll have the mornings and the evenings together. But because we are constantly together, it requires us to have another level of communication and understanding with one another. So not only do we have to have like relationship understanding and a way that we communicate, to each other as husband and wife, but we also have had to formulate a husband and wife relationship. And so in making sure that like in the way that we communicate with each other in front of other people, and in the way that we make decisions together about, the direction of our business. And so because we're always together, I think that makes it unique in the way that we've had to learn communication and understanding and all sorts of different things.
So COVID did not affect you in the way that it has affected so many other couples who were all at once thrown together for, all day long, because now everybody's working from home and the kids are always there. That's just that's your
every day. That's been, I remember seeing like just the mayhem that couples would like post on social media about like having to learn to work with one another. And
I've been annoyed.
We've been, this is
Gotcha. So with that being said, with your love story, how you met, if you could go back in time, what's one thing that you would have done differently when you started dating?
When we started dating?
Yes. Or when you first got married?
I'll work backwards. I'll start with the married one. I played a victim for a long time, like just it's easy to make yourself out to be the person who deserves apologies and deserves deserves for the other person to come to and like, oh, I'm so sorry for X, Y, and Z. And it's comfortable to be a victim and to make everything about me being wronged, and to refuse to see the other side of things. So I would have been more awake to where I was in the wrong and when I could do things differently and not only look at things so one-sidedly. So that would be beginning of marriage. I'd like to play the victim role quite a bit. And then for dating, I don't know. I like the dating relationship.
But you don't like our marriage?
I like our marriage too, but I mean, marriage, the enemy is attacking you a little more fervently than he is when you're dating. So
more of a reward.
Yes. What would you?
Yeah. For me, and I think it's kind of, I'll just answer it across the board. To me, it's always focusing on communication, right? That's just something that I would have, or I wish I could have changed a little bit more, communicate a little bit better, communicate a little bit more about not only what I see for us in a leading way, but also in like a vulnerability way, like opening up in that sense. Like what I've learned through dating, through marriage, through time is Karis really does. Like she likes me. She really cares for me, she wants to hear what's going on. Yeah. And so, that's just a personal thing, but that's just something that I've had to work on. And that's, trusting her, with, my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, things like that, so I could be a little guarded off in that sense. But, what we've learned though is communication is literally the key. I mean, that's so cliche, but you have to communicate if you want any type of progress. No progress can be made if you haven't communicated where you want to go, or where have you been, or where are you right now in the sense of life, relationships, job, whatever it may be. You got to be able to communicate, got to be honest with yourself and honest with your spouse or your partner, to make any type of progress. We are close a lot, but that still doesn't do anything if you're not communicating. So I think it's the being physical or being close physically, as well as communicating and being close emotionally as well. Those are some things that I would have changed, but yeah.
The communication piece is so big. The very first email, we're doing a series for Valentine's Day, and I want a relationship. So important. Okay. Yeah. I feel like the whole screen just.
Yeah. We can hear you now.
Okay, so in the relationship workbook I wrote, we have a weekly relationship meeting piece to it, because it's so important to have intentional conversations beyond how was your day, what's going on with the kids. Like, you have to have those check-ins to see, okay, how are we doing as a couple? And so, because communications is what spills out over into everything else. Because if the communication is off, then that can lead to the physical being off. Being married, that is a huge portion of being married. And so, how do you all keep the romance alive? You're together all day. How can you possibly even miss each other to say?
I flirt all the time. I'm constantly flirting with him. I flirt all the time.
I flirt back.
That's so. I mean, I think for us, it's just flirting.
Okay. Yeah,
it's just not like losing that initial, like, I just want to be around you, and I'm infatuated. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like when you're first dating, there's just a lot of flirtation happening. There's text messages going back and forth. Like, when you see each other, you want to look your best. So I think, you know, recently, especially for me, I can't speak for him, but for me, it's been like trying to make sure I look some level of decent every day. That doesn't mean I have to have a full face of makeup, but it also means like I'm not in a moo-moo, like, you know, that I've put on like a real bra and not a sports bra, you know, like, you know, just effort on my part, because I think as a mother it's very easy to put yourself the last on the list because that's the thing that you can control. Like, kids need food, kids have to be dressed, like I have to take care of the home. Like, there are things that you almost feel required to do it, so you're oftentimes as a mother you're last on the list. And what I've learned is that putting myself last on the list, I thought it was only affecting me, but it was really affecting him too, because he married me. Like, you know, even though we have these kids and we have this home, at the end of the day, like, he married me because he liked me. And by not, you know, by taking away a lot of the things, not everything, because I'm still who I am, but by taking away, you know, some of the things that I used to do in the way that I dressed, like got my things, I was essentially like taking away some of the things that he loved about me, and also that I loved about me. Like, I like being cute. And so I think to answer your question, the flirting, the me being myself, which is inclusive of me taking care of myself in the way that I look and dress, and getting my nails done and getting my hair done, which is fun for me too. I think that's
that was good. Yeah. I mean, and then on my end, it kind of goes back to your last question, right? About communication. You know, if there's something that I want or I need, I communicate that, you know? And so how do you keep it going? You let them know, you know, communicate. Yeah. And so, but before that was an issue. It's like, I don't want to, I know she's tired, you know, but no, you got to communicate. Why? Because she really does love me. She really does. She wants to do those things. And so keeping it going, keep the fire going by communicating, talking about it. What do you want? You know, this is marriage. Pleasure is galore. Have fun. You know what I mean? So whatever, you know, do. So it's good to talk about those things so you can keep it going. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I agree, especially with the keeping yourself up piece. Like, when I was getting ready for this, my husband was like, "Oh yeah, like, girl, where you going? Like, where you going?" Being pregnant and being at home, this is not an everyday. This is almost like a treat for everybody in the house, because it's like you don't have a bonnet on today and you actually have on makeup and you put yourself together. And it's not that, you know, the expectation from them is that you need to get up every day and become this beauty queen, but it's just that when you feel better about yourself, then you tend to be a little bit more open to receiving that flirtation coming. Feel like, okay, well, I feel good about me. He's checking me out. That sort of thing. Like, this is a good vibe. But when you feel frumpy, you're like, ugh, why are you?
Yes, yeah, and that's huge too. Like you can't believe what someone else believes about you until you believe it yourself. Yes. And so that was huge for me. Like, I remember he'd be like trying to push up on me, and I'm thinking, I don't look good right now. This is you're faking. Like, me putting how I felt on him when that may not have been how he felt. And so, yeah, I think that there's a lot to just doing things for it's for yourself as well. It's for yourself as well. And one thing I learned, I'll just say this last thing, and I know this is about marriage, but if you have children, I've learned that the way that I care myself, my daughter is very closely looking at that. And the more I take care of myself, the more I see her want to take care of herself. And also my son is looking at me like, right now, I represent all women to him, right? Like, I mean, he's 2 and he'll be 3 soon. And, you know, for a while, even still, I will represent all of womanhood to this little boy. And so, like, in what I want him to look for in a wife, you know, I want him to see that, like, I'm quoting scripture to him, and that I'm, you know, in the way that I'm disciplining him, like bringing him back to the Bible. I want him to see that, like, I'm keeping myself up. I want him to see me flirting with his dad. And so, because I represent all of womanhood to him, like, I have to be very careful about my relationship with Josh, and also how I'm taking care of myself and interacting with him. So I know this is about marriage, but
I love it.
Yeah. And I'll say one thing, you know, she reminded me of is when it comes to, you know, keeping the romance, we had to make sure that we were prioritizing each other, prioritizing our roles, right? the things that get in the way of the flirtation is always kids, work, this, that. You can find a million reasons, right? But knowing that I'm the only one should be flirting with her, she's the only one that can do anything for me, like we need each other, right? So there's people who can help with work. There's people who can maybe do some things around the house, but there's only one person who can be my wife, and there's only me, one person who can be her husband. So we try to make sure that we definitely prioritize that and try to have fun.
I'm going to let my husband know, you know what, if we can just get somebody to come over and fold the clothes, then I would be in such a better mood all the time because I didn't have to do laundry.
I'm an advocate for help. We can have a whole nother conversation about getting help in the home because it will change your life for the better. And I know that for a lot of people, it's a financial risk to take. But when you see the benefits of having someone to help you with those duties, like, washing clothes, folding laundry, all of these things, it really does help you to be better in other areas. But I digress.
Gotta put the priority list up. It's like you trying to get at me, then we need.
Yeah,
I can't wear clothes right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Question: what is one piece of advice that you both can give to the single people out there? We are in the month of love. This is a hard time of year for so many people because society has taken it and wrapped it up. And if you're single, you just a lot of people do kind of feel heavy during this time if they don't have anybody. So what advice would you give somebody during their waiting season?
I'll let you go.
Well, I'll speak to men.
Yeah.
If you're a man and you're in your waiting season, continue to be a man, right? Continue to heal wounds, past things that may be stopping you from enjoying the present or enjoying your future partner or spouse or whatever. So take your time right now to not only heal, but to be on your grind, do your job, run your race and continue to run your race. Look left and right and see who's running next to you. That girl who's on the right or the left of you might be somebody that you should be running the race of life with, right? So do you know what I mean? If you're a man, do you get on your grind, understand the calling and the job that God has 100%. Pursue God, pursue your calling, pursue your race 100%. Look left and right, see who's running in the same direction, running with you. That's probably a good person to get to know.
Yeah, I would say to girls, I remember being younger and I was the girl who wanted the wedding and dreamed about it from grade and all I wanted to be was a wife and a mother. And I was very much so in want for a husband before I probably could have even legally gotten married. And then when I got married and I saw my single friends, it was my eyes were opened, not because marriage wasn't great, but because I saw that there is so much joy in being single, that there is a freedom that you have when you're single that you don't quite have when you're married, and not out of duty, but out of role and responsibilities. When you're married, they do change. And so to those who are single, I would just say, enjoy it. And I know you guys probably hear that so much as a single person, but truly there is so much freedom that you have, and not only freedom to do what you want to do, but freedom to serve the Lord. God gives the single person more freedom with decision making, and it's easier to go out and do the things that God has called you to do when you can do that on your own, not have other responsibilities. And so I would just say hang out with friends, enjoy, and I would just say enjoy it. Find the joyhood. Seek it out
in yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, that is great advice for both of you. And I definitely agree, because once you get married, everything is now about the two of you. And you may want to have these selfish moments that you may realize that that's not really a thing anymore. You have to have those in small pieces because
yes.
it's no longer just about you. Everyone deserves moments to themselves and to relax. But when you get married, you are signing up to be a part of somebody else's life for the long haul, which means that a lot of the individual things that you may want or this individual decision making, like you mentioned, that no longer is a thing. And it's nothing wrong with it, but just prepare yourself that your life is going to change when you are trying to have an intentional marriage. So thank y'all so much for coming on today. This was great. And I really appreciate you, and tell everybody your Instagram handles and where they can follow you so that they can see all the goodness that I love watching on a daily basis.
Thank you. Well, our business, you can follow us at Ferris Photos, and Ferris is spelled P-H-A-R-R-I-S. There it is, Ferris Photos. We're at Ferris Photos everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Our personal, mine is Karis Ferris, and our personal last name is spelled with an F, so F-A-R-R-I-S. And I'm Karis Ferris everywhere, and he's J Ferris too everywhere.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Midweek Matrimony. And I'm going to let y'all get back to running your empire because I'm stuck behind. People need you. It's okay because you are the boss. People need you. So thank you so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, ma'am.